Hello everyone, my name is Robert Porter and this will be my PechaKucha. A PechaKucha is a PowerPoint presentation which has 20-second slides that explain what you're wanting to talk about in detail and in lesser time than a full presentation. I will be spending my time talking about the art of painting miniatures and how it can physically and mentally help you. Have you ever noticed that some people are better at drawing and or art and ever wonder why? I'll help you venture into this world of art and find the answer for yourself. Um, Miniatures bring a new aspect to the table. This three-dimensional art allows you to physically and mentally remember and use your models for things like decorations, playing games, and even giving your kids something to play with. Painting is great, but when it's all painted, all it does is sit there and look pretty. And to start, you'll need a glass that you can put some fresh water in. It's not only clean for your brushes, but then you got to water down your paints a little bit, get a much cleaner paint. Next, you'll need a brush, and three should be good: a dry brush, a detail brush, a pin brush, a rag for drying your brush off for watering down your paint. Then comes your paint color of choice, and black primer is always black because primer is a color always to be a shadow color. Shadows are generally black. So let's begin. And first you'll want to spray down your entire model with the primer in spurts, about 6 inches to a foot away, so your primer doesn't glob up on the model. Usually all you need to do is go in a straight line around your model, then spurts the top of it, and it should be covered, and you let it sit for an hour and it should be good. Then you start by dry brushing and putting a small amount of paint on it, then spreading the paint with your arm on a rag to thin out all the excess on the brush. Then beat away at the model to get every area that you can get to, and wash, rinse, and repeat until it's covered. Now this step helps you take your anger out on the model. By releasing your anger, the brush you'll release yourself from emotions that'll have throughout the day and can disappear to make your day shine so much more, because it's a lot easier to deal with than normal life stuff. And this is where we paint the secondary color on, and everything starts to show up and begin to show on your model's character. So take a second color and thin out the paints on your brush just enough so that you can take a relaxed time slowly going over each section that you want to get covered. This is usually done with a detail brush. Now, this part's a happy therapy. At this point, you don't have to sweat going over any finite details, so all your painting should be relatively easy. You should start to feel almost a zen of relaxation while you spread the paint on your model. This can be like having a good time relaxing in front of the TV, but this in case instructive. And this is the final stretch here. Now we take our pin brush and start really getting into the details. Strange as we don't use a detail brush for this. But all you have to do is take your time, dive your mind into a focus so that you can work far more precise. And at this stage in painting, it helps to have a total focus or flow so you can get your mind totally engulfed in what you're doing. This not only helps keep your hand on being more precise and gentle, but will drive your last anger out. This is the most frustrating process and will essentially have your mind so focused on the painting you'll forget about the rest of your troubles. So congratulations, you've finished your model and should be feeling pretty happy as you have gotten all or most of your emotions replaced with a feeling of self-worth and empowerment. Plus, you have driven your creativity into overdrive by helping your mind and body return to the kid that loved finger painting. I personally do this whenever I'm feeling down or out because it really aggravated. Sometimes since you can go through these processes to help me return to my calm place and allow me to be me again, which is nice. And did you know how easy that was? Your mind probably felt like it was an easy task. The mind remembers and creates art like we did when we were kids. So the only thing that makes us any worse at having stopped, slowed down, or growing out of art. Having art activities helps the mind become stronger and more creative. As children, we tend to make art on the walls, the floors, and pretty much everywhere. So, in reality, the ones of us who draw poorly are the ones who draw less now as adults than as kids. You must grow back into the art since it's a skill you already have. You just have to open it back up. Have you ever heard of the quote, practice makes perfect? Well, this is actually wrong, as you can practice something as much as you like, but if you change it along the way, it will be different more than not. Repetition, on the other hand, makes perfection, as you're doing the exact same thing over and over again. This brings the body muscle memory, which makes the body react to using those muscles in such a way that improves, maximize performance based on the movements that you're doing. So where I started painting one model at a time, now I'm able to paint six or more in the same time while it's looking better, all because it's repetition. Now, there have been many studies in the arts and crafts that have proven great. First off, it has shown that it can improve your mood, help with disease, and even depression. Some of my research materials was found by Heather Stuckey and James Clear. They wrote a great articles on the subject. This better time to get healthier, so check it out. Now, overall, this is a great thing to do with any sort of art project, but in this case, it will be in the miniatures ring as they are most bang for your buck. Well, I hope you enjoyed my PechaKucha, and remember, art is the best source of long life.